Welcome to Open Studio with ManMakeMachine. My name is Bundu Sitole, and today we are discussing the fourth industrial revolution and tier levels. Today I've got three guests with me. That is Dan, Kunrad, and Lwetu. Hi guys.
Morning.
Cool. So we're going to watch a clip quickly from Linus Tech that is pretty cool, that explains the tier levels, and we'll chat about that clip after we've watched the clip.
When you send out a tweet about a new video card you can't afford or how great the last episode of TechWiki was, have you wondered what happens? I mean, sure, we all know that it goes out onto the internet, but much like flushing a toilet, most people don't know exactly what happens to their chunks of data after they post something. So where exactly does it all go? Well, to understand the answer to this question, it might help to keep in mind that the internet is not owned or even governed by any one group of people. I said not owned by any one group of people, but rather it works as a distributed system made up of lots of smaller computer networks owned by various ISPs, universities, governments, and other organizations that are linked together through what are called peering agreements. But Linus, hold on a second. If no one's really running the internet, then how does it stay working? Do we even know where it goes? There are organizations that help coordinate and direct internet traffic so that compatibility is maintained everywhere from Ottawa to Oman. Probably the most well-known of these groups is ICANN, which maps IP addresses to internet domain names. So when you punch in, let's say, linustechtips.com in your web browser, that actually isn't enough information for your computer to know what website to show you. So what happens is your ISP, or internet service provider, directs it to a DNS server which matches what you typed to the IP address that corresponds to it, so you can connect and keep consuming the awesome videos we create. But once you do that, then how does the content itself get to your PC? One of the internet's most defining features is that it is packet switched, meaning that all data is broken up into little, well, packets, and then reassembled once it arrives at your computer. And while the idea of shattering and then reassembling something every time you need to move it won't make much sense for things like, oh, I don't know, human arms, the advantage of this approach for computer data is that it allows each packet to take the most efficient route possible. So if everyone in the town next to you where your traffic would have normally been routed through starts streaming Game of Thrones at exactly the same freaking time, congesting any nearby nodes, causing some of your much more important My Little Pony packets to slow down, the remaining ones can be easily and dynamically rerouted via another path even mid-file, so your internet speeds stay high. And because packets contain, in addition to the actual content, identification information that ensures they are being sent to the right place and that they can be properly recombined later on, normally none of the data ends up as a corrupted, jumbled mess either. Speaking of jumbled messes, if you've ever tried to do something as simple as copy a file to an external hard drive on a Mac and then carry it over to a PC and open it, you're probably wondering how users on different operating systems on different machines from different parts of the world all manage to use the same internet. Standards bodies come to the rescue here again. They make sure that the same fundamental languages and technologies are used throughout the globe, including W3C, which is in charge of things like HTML and CSS, the languages that your web browser will interpret into something your computer can understand. So I hope this helped give you some idea how the world pulls together without a single guiding force to give us this awesome tool for arguing on Twitter and reading half-baked political opinions. Speaking of things on the internet that are way better than arguing on Twitter, FreshBooks! It's designed for freelance workers or small businesses, and the whole idea behind it is that instead of spending all of your time drawing up invoices and logging your hours as you move about from place to place working on jobs, you spend it doing jobs and getting paid. It's an online tool to allow you to get your accounting done quickly while you're on the go versus having to sit at your computer every night. It even allows allows your clients to pay you online via credit card. It's just like beep, beep, boop, send that invoice over to them and get paid. And I can tell you, as a small business owner, half of the battle is actually getting the invoice sent out to the client, and then the other half is getting them to actually pay it, which is a whole other thing anyway. It shows the full history of every invoice, allows you to check if the client has viewed the invoice, which is another really handy tool. Oh, I didn't get that. Oh, actually you did. And I guess that's pretty much it. So if you're your own boss, then the idea behind FreshBooks is you should be using stuff that makes you feel like a boss. And it's an easy way of doing stuff online instead of doing stuff the old traditional way. So head over to freshbooks.com/techquickie, and don't forget to enter TechQuickie in the How Did You Hear About Us section. So guys, thanks for watching this video. Like it if you liked it, dislike it if you thought it sucked, leave a comment if you have suggestions for future Fastest Possibles, and as always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss more of our videos here, wherever it is you're watching.
So guys, that was an awesome clip from Linus Tech, and now we're about to discuss it, but my guests are actually going to introduce themselves first. So Dan, tell me more about yourself.
Thank you for inviting me to the show, Mundo. My name is Magabongo Metuso. I'm a founder of a company called Aptitude Solutions.
Awesome.
What we do is we create interactive videos that allow brands and publishers to enable their viewers to click directly on a video. So, and those users with intent to purchase can purchase directly through the video. I also tutor high school kids, maths and science.
Yeah.
And I'm also currently doing a course on permaculture design.
And this is in Kailicha or in Mitchell's Plain?
Yeah, in Mitchell's Plain.
In Mitchell's Plain.
Yes.
Awesome. Conrad, tell us a bit.
Hi, my name is Conrad Loebser. I'm based in Cape Town. I'm currently with a technology consultancy called ManMakeMachine. And I come from a telecommunications background, helping people establish internet service providers.
Yeah. Awesome, awesome. Letu, tell us a bit about yourself, my man.
Oh, thanks, bro.
Sure.
And thanks for inviting me as well.
Yeah.
As you said, I'm Letu.
Yeah.
I'm from VPU,
Sure.
but I'm working for an agent called Lilaway. What I'm doing there, I'm registering job seekers, people who are unemployed,
Yeah.
and putting them through the data of Lulaway so they can be employed.
Okay.
And I'm
Thank you.
also doing after-school programs,
Okay.
helping kids. with
Yeah,
homework.
thank you. So we'll get back to that after the break. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching us. We'll be back after the break. And we're back from that awesome break, guys. So before the break, we were actually watching a clip from Linus Tech, and now we're actually going to discuss it and talk a bit about tier levels. And my guests here have their own comments, obviously. So I'd love to know from you, Dan and Conrad and Letu, what exactly did you think about that clip?
Well, firstly, the clip was a bit funny, but it was quite interesting to learn a bit more about the internet because we use it so much, but most people, including myself, don't really know how it works. So it's quite interesting and informative.
Awesome, yeah. What did you think?
Well, I think that if you break it down to the smallest parts, the internet is actually quite simple. It's just a way for people to communicate.
Wow.
Just like we're talking now,
Yeah.
we can talk to anybody anywhere.
Yeah, I have a question about that, but this is all. Letu, what did you think?
Yeah, it seems complicated, bro. But
you use it
I just
every
want
day.
to know something as well from Conrad about the traffic thing. What exactly that means.
Yeah, and what happened to your computer the other day when someone else was using it
Wow.
and you didn't know what was going on?
Don't go there.
We were working remotely on his computer the other day and it was quite crazy. But Conrad, tell me more about tier levels. I know that the first thing that I learned from you when I met you was the fact that the world is actually connected from continent to continent with wires actually, and that was quite weird. How do they drag the wire? What happens there? So, and there's tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. What's the difference between those? So can you just explain to us?
So it's pretty crazy actually. In the 1800s,
Yeah.
like more than 150 years ago, people already had ships that pulled wires across from Europe to the US
Wow.
so that they could send messages. So we've known about how to connect continents together for a long time. I think that was even before radio was invented.
Wow.
So, but what's
Was
so
it the telegraph?
yeah.
Oh.
So the tier levels, you know, there's a lot of jargon and names you can give to everything, and people have come up with this way to describe how it works after it was built like that. So ISPs like to say they're a tier 1 or a tier 2 network, and it's just a way to say it's a network that connects networks together. So rather than just a network that connects people or our computers together locally, if we put a wireless point in this room, then all our devices are connecting to that wireless point, and that means we have a local network. If we connect this local network to another network of a bunch of local networks, it's generally called a tier 3 or tier 4 network.
That is
And
the
then-
ISPs, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Internet service providers.
Providers, yeah.
So, which is just another name to say people that are connecting networks together.
Okay. And then tier 2?
So tier 2 and tier 2s are generally the ISPs within a country that connect the whole country together.
So that's like OpenServe or Telcom or something like that. Or what's that?
Yes, so they're different. There's no one company that does it all.
Okay.
There are many different companies. There are companies that will come and put a wireless point in your house, or it's easy for people to start that or to do it themselves. And then there are companies that will connect your wireless point to a bigger
To a
network,
bigger network, like you explained, yes.
which might be your neighborhood or your town. And then there's service providers that connect all the towns in South Africa together, so that I can speak to you when you're in Khayelitsha and I'm in Cape Town.
Okay.
And then there's also companies that connect continents together.
So that's what? That's Afrinic, I assume, or...
So, and then there are companies that help people coordinate all the names and the numbers on the internet. So yes, so
that's what that is.
yes,
Okay.
the names, it's like a big telephone directory. So there was a bit about that in the clip, and it's just a way to, if you type in ManMakeMachine.com, how does it know which computer to go to, or how to find the data that you want to see?
Awesome, and that's all IP addresses or internet protocol.
Which are like telephone numbers, but the internet version of that.
Yeah. Guys, you're welcome to jump in because I'm like excited about this, but like I have so much to ask, but I feel like I'm only having a conversation with Conrad. Because he knows so much and he's the industry expert, but you guys are welcome to jump in and just ask a few questions as well. So guys, what's your opinion about this whole tier level thing and the internet? How do you think it has changed the world, and how do you think it will change the world further, especially in the fourth industrial revolution? Let's hear from you, Dan.
I think the internet is one of the biggest inventions of mankind. When you consider what we're able to do now, people are able to learn. It's possible to learn virtually online, even get a degree just by purely learning online.
Yeah.
So just as how the printing press revolutionized education, I think the internet is just adding to that and giving people also more access. People that are in remote areas, like rural areas, they have now access to information and are able to learn and upskill themselves. So I think that's a very positive outcome from the internet.
Yeah. So what do you think, Lut, about that? Teta Putwan.
Speaking on that, language iphuma kakuhle man xa uthetha ilanguage yakho. Bendingakho mninzi kakhulu true kwinto edibene ne-internet. Internet bendiyithatha eziba yinto nje yokuba mandikwazi uncokola nomntu. Socialize leyo.
Even before WhatsApp, kula maxesha ka-Mixit.
Exactly. But now ndiyibona uba day by day, nyaka nanyaka iyatshintsha ngotshintsha, and there's more kwizinto ezenzekayo. So ndisenemibuzo endinayo intle kakhulu. So ndisenemibuzo endinayo endiqombana uba bawulukuyiva more based on ukuthi wendibene ne-internet. From la clip esiyibukele now, there was some ezinye izinto nje eziye zandiconfuse nje kancinci
Njengantoni bhuti,
nje
awasichaze nje.
ngendima edibene netraffic ithuba lento
Oh.
license into eyenza itraffic just because since uba ndina-instalela Wi-Fi through la side lam and now andifuna ukwenza something izinto zaphinde thini ziyenze uba mayisokolise.
Yeah.
So I would like to know more about
About routing the traffic, especially in Kailicha. How did we get that done? So
Yeah.
I'd especially like to know more about that. But guys, just quickly, what would you say to the kid, real quickly, what would you say to the kid in Kailicha that wants to actually join and learn about tier levels?
What could you say, Conrad?
I would say find an internet connection, find Wi-Fi somewhere,
And learn.
and search how to build the internet and see what you find. And look for results that are close to you. Look for how to how to build internet in Kailicha, and you will probably find something.
Yeah, so I'll have to stop you there. So guys, we have to go to an ad break. See you after this. And guys, we're back from that awesome break, and we're busy talking about internet solutions, especially the tier levels involved. Our guys are still talking about what would they say to the kid in the streets that wants to join the network. And I don't know if you have anything else to say, but what did you think about what Conrad said, Dan?
Yeah, definitely. For one, I'd say the biggest or the first resource that anyone has access to for free is the library. So even if you don't have data on your phone or at home, at least you can go to the library and access the internet there. And so you can just access the information in the library, Google tier levels or how the internet works.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's the first approach.
Yeah. And what did you think, Lud?
And I would suggest that the kids must go more deeper into internet so they can know how to build the internet themselves.
Umsebenzi ukhona.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Because
that-
each and everything, internet make it go round.
Yeah.
As easy as that, my brother.
If I get.
Let's make it simple. Let's try to bring it back to something that everybody like uses every day. So, like, what do you use the internet for example?
Well, I use it for quite a lot of things, from learning, reading about articles, doing even transaction business also can be done on there. I use it for that, for marketing my business. Yeah, there's actually quite a lot that I use it for.
Chat, email is probably what I use the most. So where do you think that data or those services that you use come from?
I really can't say much about it. All I do is just access the browser and I Google something. Yeah, so I can't really say much about where the information comes from.
So I think it's important to realize all the information comes from a server, or which is just a computer.
Okay.
It's just like your phone. You can keep a website on your phone and other people can load the website from your phone. Your phone is not very fast, so only maybe 10 or 100 people will be able to access the website at any one time. But it's still just a small server where, like if you have a website that you want thousands of people to access, you might need a stronger computer that needs to be in like closer to the internet. You're not going to put the strong computer on a Wi-Fi point in your house. You're maybe going to put it like at one of the fast lines somewhere where people build the faster lines for the internet.
Okay.
But even so, that's the server. How does it get? How does the service that you need or the chat application work, and who puts it on the server?
Okay.
So, well, the important thing to know is that it's just a person like you who put it on the server. If you're searching on the internet for something, it's somebody else whose answer you're finding.
What about AI or artificial intelligence?
It's not. It's only starting to
Because
do
apparently
things
there was a
today.
conversation, so I know Facebook or something, or Google did this kind of thing where a conversation was happening between between two computers, and they were conversating, and the conversation ended with some scrambled up words that no one understands.
So-
Only the computers understood. So that was crazy. So did you see that?
Yes, and I was very disappointed when I wanted to go to university 20 something years ago, because I wanted to study computer intelligence and I couldn't afford to study it. There were only 2 universities in the world that offered this. So I learned online. Eventually, I managed to do this course for free online a few years ago, 6 or 7 years ago. But even so, AI is still it's growing faster and it's becoming smarter faster, but it's not nearly as smart as a person.
Okay.
It's still going to be a few years before we have a
Before that
computer that is as smart as you,
Okay.
or me, or literally anybody else on the planet.
Okay, that's nice to know. So, guys, what do you think is the next big thing in the telecommunications industry? What do you think? Is it going to get any better than the tier 3 level, the tier 1 level? Is there going to be, because I saw like pretty recent that Tesla has this idea of connecting the whole world through this loop around like satellites that are rolling around the world. I don't know if that's the next best thing or what's going on there. I know that Tesla does a lot of crazy things that are pretty cool, but I don't know if that's actually going to happen or is that even a good idea. So what do you guys think about that?
I think the next best thing in the internet was firstly to have the whole globe connected, because a large part are still not connected, especially South Africans. So I think the next big thing is to get everyone connected so that we all have this equal access to this resource called the internet.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any opinions?
Well, I think the internet gives you a front row seat to what is happening or what is available in the world. So it doesn't matter if you're the richest or the poorest person on the planet, you can get access to the same information. And the challenge is to find the information that's valuable to you. There's a lot of bad information out there as well.
Yeah, true. And how do you prevent that? Cybercrimes and all of that, that's pretty crazy. And Letu, what do you think?
Oh, bruh. Now you're using big terms.
Ezayo, yintoni ezayo uyicingela ibiyeza wena ucingela i-internet izavele yehlukane ibe yinto nje ethe saa okanye izawuba yinto edibeneyo ebhadlileyo.
Izawuyala idibana
Ewe,
and iba yinto enkulu
ibona njalo.
kakhulu, bra, because now besingakho that much through kwinto internet too much. So now ndiyabona khona utshintsho lizakwenzeka apha kwi-internet yawo.
Ngoku sasi-installa phaa kuwe wafila njani wena ngoku xa ubona uba yehama une-internet
I was lost, bra,
but
because
wasincedisa nje wayibona uba nantsi into iyenzeka.
I wanted to learn. Now.
Yeah.
So I was
Besifuna
lost at the
nathi.
time, okay. In that time, okay, we were busy doing that thing, because okay, there was an internet. Now, so ndandibona ngabantu abakhe like I don't know about nizani actually, but after yenzekile la nto yenzeka phayana, so I've realized okay, no man, there is a difference between le nto bendinayo nale niyenzayo. So now taba happy, bra, yabo.
Yeah.
Because
Okay,
of
it looks so cool. So guys, how do we get a hold of you guys real quickly? Tell me, it's Dan on Facebook or?
I'm not on Facebook, but you can connect with me on Twitter at dmetuso,
Metuso.
or send me an email at mmetuso@gmail.com.
gmail.com. Okay. Facebook?
Well, I
Quickly?
quite like Twitter.
Okay.
It's at DAGELF.
Okay. And then
I'm on Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah, Olwethu Tulwana
Tulwana,
at
okay.
gmail.
Nice.
.com.
Okay. Thank you guys for watching the show, and that was an awesome show. We'll be doing a continuation of the show pretty quickly on installations in Kailicha with these two beautiful guys. Yeah, so thank you.